Hello, everybody. All right, we are back. I do apologize sincerely as we were having some technical difficulties, but we're back and we are ready to go. I'll just do a quick recap of what I said before. If you guys did not hear me prior to our technical difficulties, but I was just saying that we do have a guest who is going to be in the virtual studio with us. And that does not mean that we are not going to continue on with the series that we have been doing on love and relationships, because that is going to keep going, just so that you all know. We are going to keep going with that. We're going to have some guests in studio. We're going to have some professionals in studio. We're going to have some gentlemen in studio who are going to tell their side of the story about dating and love and how it is that they feel. So, I don't want them to feel neglected whatsoever. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and we're going to get into our guests for the evening, since we are running a bit behind. So I want everyone to please help me. Sorry guys, I'm getting myself back together on this, but I want everybody to help me in a nice, hold on. I'm trying to get myself together, and a nice welcome to our guest in the virtual studio. Let me go ahead and let him in. We are talking to actor, here he comes, actor, comedian extraordinaire. Hold on. Are you here? I can't see you. Are you here? Are you here? Yeah. All right. All right. Let me go ahead and make sure.
Okay, all right.
Let me go
Okay,
ahead and make sure I put you up there. Hey.
okay.
All right, everybody, please help me welcome to the virtual studio this evening on the Out Show on BKS1 Radio. It is comedian, it is actor extraordinaire, Mr. Hassan Oliver. Now, I'm a bit bootleg, so I'm gonna do my own clap and my own for
Oh,
you.
that's it. That's how you gonna do
Yeah,
yours.
did you hear it? Did you hear me?
I heard
So,
it.
welcome to the show this evening, and I do apologize because we were having a bit technical difficulties, but we are back now, and you are in the virtual studio with us right now. So, again, how are you? How is everything? What's going on with you?
Everything good, man. The world is opening up a little bit.
Okay, yep.
Um, I'm still afraid to go to certain spots. We've been in so damn long. Oh, can I curse? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, other than that, you know what? I'm glad I'm in this business because everybody need to laugh.
Uh, if nothing else, everybody needs a laugh right now, like on a daily
Everybody
basis.
needs to laugh, and they paying top dollar to laugh, even the churches.
Listen, I was going to ask you about that. Now, we both work in the entertainment industry. So, I mean, I
Uh-huh.
know what I've gone through on my end of things, but I was going to ask, like, how has things been through, for you throughout this time period?
You know what? A lot of things that's supposed to happen before COVID is actually happening at an
Mm-hmm.
even better pace. Because during COVID, I just was doing a lot of online shows. Had to get used to the virtual. I started
Mm-hmm.
landscaping. I was I was hustling,
Okay.
but I still felt as though it was my job as a comic. Like, every Friday, I would just do shows to have fun with people to keep their energy up and faith as well as minds.
Right.
So, and you know what? It gave me a chance to really focus on what I was doing too fast and what I wasn't taking my time on. So I kind of got the good out of it, other than the bad too.
Yeah.
For all of us that's entertainers, it's like time to slow down and really do your homework.
Yeah.
And I
Absolutely.
had to cut back the drinking. I tell you that. I was in his house too long.
I think everybody became some sort of alcoholic during the pandemic, and
What?
we all need to just take a step back, put the bottle down a little bit, and
Exactly.
get back to focusing on what it is that we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Everybody keeps saying, be easy. Nah, you sitting in this house, you and that bottle.
Listen, listen, I completely understand. I can't say that I don't. So I completely
Mm-hmm.
understand. But I want to get into it with you for tonight. So, you
Okay.
know, you're known for your typically, pre-pandemic, your high energy performances and going off of, your real life experiences. I've always wanted to know for comedians, how do you know what to say and what not to say? You know what I'm saying? Like, is cousin Ray Ray going to be mad because he hears your sketch and you used him in your story or something that happened to him? How do you know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate?
You don't care actually. As a comic, you like, you know what? You either gonna take it or you're not.
Right.
When you think about it, it'd be some of the best material you don't say, and you like, you know what? You get that from the other veterans. Like you look at, like Richard Pryor put his life out there. He got burnt up and lit himself on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta put out there with the people gonna be like, oh, I know he ain't just say that. So I've been stopped holding back, but I have jokes about my cousin. I got a cousin named Ray Ray. And I'll talk about my wife all the time, and I'll listen to see how they react to, like, you have to say it, but you have to say it right in order to be funny.
Yeah.
It's the delivery, because you could be nervous, like you could be at my show and we could be talking about your radio show, like, yo, I was waiting in the green room for like 6:45. She had technical difficulties. I don't know if she paid her phone. You could be like, really, Haas? I have to address it.
Yeah. Have you?
You got to address it.
Have you fallen out with anyone over it?
Yeah. In the beginning, my wife I got a snoring joke.
Oh God.
Friends, I've told stories on stage. He hit me, was like, yo, I know who you're talking about. Just don't say the name. So it been a bad fallout I had before. When I first started, I didn't know how to, say it without people knowing who it was.
Yeah.
And I had somebody with me at the show, and it was bad. And it was like, yo, man, you want some Hollywood mess? And it was bad because I delivered it wrong. But once I cleaned it up, I got his ass again, though, because it was good material.
It's like, I'm going to put this in. When I go on the tour, I'm going to just keep up with this one.
Yeah, I could definitely use that. They don't know me personally.
That is hilarious. I've also heard a lot of comedians say that comedy is therapy for you because, the way you guys deliver your jokes and how you think about things. Is that true? Is it therapy?
That is very true, about 97%, because if I'm going through something that day, I have to get on stage. I have to get on stage, and that's when you're going through your funniest times. When I'm going through something, I'm going to be hilarious. If I'm just chill and I'm kind of like comfortable, it's not going to be, it's going to be lazy. But that's our therapy. It's my therapy. I like to go see other comedians do their thing. So it is the therapy when we get up there. That's like an old comedian told me a long time ago. That's like the best feeling. You close to God, making other people laugh.
Close to God, making other people
It's
laugh.
different up there. It's lonely. It's lonely when ain't no laughing. So get ready for that.
Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, woo! You got to bomb.
Okay.
And I bombed so bad. I brought my wife to a show. I went last. I was feeling myself. I had two guys in front of me that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm downstairs taking shots, which is a no-no. And when I said I was the longest 20 minutes on stage, an hour long home, I never bombed again like that day. I had probably an okay night, but it was bad. I thought she was going to leave me. It was bad.
But my question is it you or is it the crowd? Like, is it a different demographic? Because I'm sure you can tell the same jokes to a different crowd and get a different response, right?
Yeah, you can blame. Sometimes, you know what? Sometimes this is true. People will come out for a comedy show just to come out, to laugh. Yeah. Some people want to come out and have a good time. I have to understand when is that. And if I bomb, it's kind of more my fault, because if the material not working, I wasn't putting in the work to make it right. And I probably was drinking. I probably was talking to other comedians before I went up. My mom was all over the place.
Yeah, yeah.
But you could bomb with pride. You could bomb so bad you just start talking about yourself and come up out of that. That's called bombing with pride.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You mentioned talking to other comedians beforehand, and you mentioned, some of your therapy is watching other comedians. Have you ever just sat in the audience and be like, they are terrible? Have you ever said that to yourself?
I was at a show the other night at Aruga's Lounge in North Plainfield. TK Kirker was on stage. He had some new comedian with me, and it was bad. It was like you could just tell he was just, that's the beginning of the game. It was bad, and I was like, yo, he's terrible. I wanted to go up there and do a guest spot to bring the crowd up for him, but he didn't want me to, so I just let him kill himself. Because you can't rate up and coming comedians because everybody not going to catch on.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'll sit back and go, you know what? I'll see what's out there. Who's talking about what? Because some of us, people think we have the same material, but we just say it different. And somebody may think somebody took a joke from each other.
Yeah.
But we experience the same. That's when you be careful because comedians are the most sensitive entertainers in the world. We can give it, but can't take it sometimes.
Listen, I mean, I get it, because that's how you make your money. So if somebody is telling a similar story, but change the color of the car, it's like, what are you doing?
And sometimes you can know, like, hold on, he's saying that too close to what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It took me 2 years to get that joke.
Yeah.
People don't know it takes time to punchline, to see how long it goes. Mm-hmm. But you know what? You got to take it and run with it because it's not copywritten to you. Somebody steal your joke, then it must be funny.
Yeah. I guess
Richard Pratt said that. You're going to take, but I learned just talk about your life. Can't take nobody life jokes.
Absolutely.
Keep it straight about me.
Right. What is training like for a comedian? So is it, were you just a funny guy in elementary school and it just stayed with you, or did you what's the training like? Is there a school? Is it a specific club that you all go to? How does that go?
Basically, you wind up feeling like you the class clown. This is from elementary school. Mm-hmm. You're either an actor or you're a comedian. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then you start feeling that, okay, I'm used to being the person in the middle. I'm used to that attention. Mm-hmm. And then once you start noticing you have something, you be like, all right, the real training comes the older you get, life experience. Then when you really want to get it again, get it there. It's just like college. You got to go to school for it. Mm-hmm. You have to take classes. Because you're going to be in the Chipmunk circuit forever if you don't, right? Mm. Okay. Every back in the day artists, if you watch like James Brown, until they got on like taking courses how to stand, sing, your voice, comedy. I went to school. I'm still taking classes and training, improv school, how to deliver the joke, the timing, because it has to. The joke has to be good if you go to school and learn it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, you got to get out there 3-4 times a week and get on stage. Practice. It might be bad 4 days. The next 4 days might be good because you failed 4 days and you don't want that to happen no more. You got to really want it to be funny.
Yeah. Practice.
Practice, take classes, invest. It's like investing to yourself.
Right.
Classes, acting classes. You got to take, I took classes of improv, repetition, and sitcom classes. Ooh. So, I can be like the Martin, They all went to school. Don't get it twisted. They all had classes.
I would love a sitcom class. I would love a sitcom class.
You'll be surprised. Until I took that class, I never understood Seinfeld. Because Seinfeld is dry humor. Yeah. I didn't watch that growing up.
Yeah.
But when I took the class of writing sketch sitcom, I understood it. It's not scripted, it's repetition. Did you really go to the store? I went to the store. It's like that.
And you can appreciate it. You can appreciate that kind of humor, different kinds of humor. Right.
Yeah. You then you sit there and go, okay, I saw the Chipmunk circuit way of jokes with the, black jokes. Yeah. Well, now you're learning the demographics of making anybody laugh in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't box yourself in. You got to know, oh, I don't want to do white rooms. You got to go do them sometimes. You got to
Yeah.
know how to deliver your jokes.
Is that something that our people know though?
Yeah, they uncomfortable to do that. They know if
Okay.
I go in here with this jive turkey stuff from the hood, I can't go up to the suburbs and do the jokes. But
Yeah.
honestly, they work in the suburbs too because they want to know what's going on in your life. You just got to slow it down a little bit because we want that laugh, but the mainstream is like I call it like English composition 4. You slow it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you slow it down so
it's a
everybody
lot.
can
It's a
get it.
lot. It's a lot to it.
Yeah, you slow it down so everybody can get it. What about when you go too far? So, for instance, I've watched countless interviews on Dave Chappelle, talking about when he was using the N word on Chappelle's show, and he mentioned that he looked around the room when they were doing their table reads, and some people were laughing a bit too hard. And he said he had to, pull back and was like, wait a minute, like y'all are not laughing with me, y'all are laughing at me. So as a comedian in delivering jokes to different demographics, how do you know how far to go?
You sometimes you don't know, and sometimes somebody will pull you to the side and go, "Look, one thing you still got to have your humanity on stage as a black man first. You want to be laughed with, not laughed at." And then it's a word they call cooning. I don't know if you heard that before,
Oh, of
right?
course, of course.
Don't be trying to make the others laugh when it's really about. Like Dave stood up. Dave stood up for being a black man, saying, "Oh yeah, they are laughing too hard."
Yeah.
So that's when you kind of like switch it up and then start doing your homework to see how can I make them laugh harder at themselves.
Right. Right.
Because you don't want to feel like that. You really don't want to feel like that.
Right. Right.
You can go home and you can feel it going. Yeah, I did a little too much about my culture,
Yeah.
and our people in the crowd not going to appreciate that because it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're getting paid top dollars and they say do what you do what you do.
Right. and what are your thoughts on like the conscious comedy, like what we're talking about? So now he's kind of shifted a bit, and Richard Pryor did it. You had Paul Mooney did it. May he rest in peace. You have this conscious comedians where they're really telling you the truth. And you're laughing, but they're really telling you the truth. What are your thoughts on that, as opposed to just different kinds of material?
I actually like the way that it's going because Pryor did it. They was trying to do that back then, but society wasn't letting them unless it was in mainstream. But now urban and mainstream is hearing it. I think it's going in a good direction because they try to censor comedians, like no cursing and all that. Look, Def Jam, all of that. Sometimes the curse do make the joke funny, but you can do jokes without the curse. It's cool. But now, they scared of that though. They scared of that because D.L. Hughley is more of a conscious comedian now.
Yes, he is now.
We're making you laugh and telling you the truth. Yeah. We got the power to do that, and sometimes they be getting scared, like they know too much.
Yeah.
No, we always knew too much. Now our big celebrity comedians are letting it. Dave Chappelle is the greatest because he said, "Go, young comedians, y'all need to do the same thing up there. Don't coon.
Yeah,
make your jokes, but let them know what's going on."
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I'm glad you mentioned the censorship part of it because you had Kevin Hart who went through the whole, what he went through when he was supposed to host the Oscars, and then now all of a sudden he couldn't. And when did we get to comedians being censored for jokes?
I think we got towards that. Bill Cosby was a big part of that back in the day. That's how him and Eddie Murphy didn't get along. So it was Bill and a lot of other black comics who felt as though black comics don't need to curse to make people laugh. It's a big business. Yeah. So trust me, you got some clean comics out here. You got some comics that do churches which is big business.
Yes.
So a lot of comedians start saying, well, we don't need to curse, but you got cats like Bill Burr and all of them got the nastiest mouths. Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
Andrew Dice.
Andrew Dice Clay. Yeah, absolutely.
So they used to be like, why y'all don't send to them, but y'all want to send to us? You know, it's like cats. It made cats change their ways, and we wasn't comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So the censor thing it was pretty much politics towards urban comedians, which is black comics.
Yep.
Comedy Central didn't want to hear all that on Comedy Central. Sad to say, they didn't want to hear too much cursing. But when Kevin did his 3 shows, Kevin opened the door. You don't have to be vulgar, but you can cuss in a certain manner.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate all of it, you know.
Yeah.
So is all of comedy acted?
What you mean? Acted like our routine?
Yeah. Can you call all comedians actors?
No.
No?
You have some good actors that do better comedic roles than comedians. It's weird. A lot of comics can't act a comedic role. I'm living proof. I like to Jamie Foxx said it one day.
Okay.
He said, well, if I'm doing his TV show he wasn't always funny. He wanted to do some acting and it's funny.
Yeah.
So when you take on a comedic role, it's like I'm already funny, but I have to change to an actor, but I want to act with no jokes. But actors who are actors, like myself, you want to take on a comedic role because it's fun to you.
Yeah.
So all comedians are not actors. That's why the transition is not that easy.
All comedians are not actors, but some actors can be comedians.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm learning. I'm learning.
On stage, we're not pretending to be funny. We're funny.
Right.
You give us a monologue and say, do this 2-minute monologue.
Yeah.
It's not going to come out right because we can't make it funny.
Right.
You got to transition from being funny to be a lawyer. You can't smile in court.
Yeah.
That's a hard transition. Yeah. So though, as a comic like myself, taking classes and listening to a lot of comics who made it successful, we go to school to learn how to transition. It's not an easy transition.
Because you're not acting like you're funny, you're just funny.
You're just funny.
You're just funny. Okay. All right.
It's different It's different when you get up on that stage, boy.
I can't imagine. I could never imagine. But I want to go into the acting part of, your career. So you have a number of films that are up under your belt right now.
Right.
And tell us a little bit about all of them. I mean, you got things that are running, you have things that are streaming right now. Tell us a bit about, some of the films that you have out right now.
The main film I have out right now, I probably did about 12 films.
Nice.
I always wanted to do my own film. And being as that is, when I start being around comics, I felt as though I didn't want to be called a comedian. The guy who did Baby Boy said it. You want to be known as a director, producer, and a writer. So I predicted I would be a comedian, a director, and a producer. That's the movie called The Real Unemployed Comedian.
Okay.
I came up, it was the word, the real was known. The Real House was in Hollywood, all of that. So I just pulled the real. I was unemployed at the time. Comedian. I just took that.
Okay.
And you know what? I saved my little taxes money. I start because the classes I was taking, I was like, wow, I can do this on my own.
Yeah.
And that was that movie right now, which is screaming on Vault Access. I was so proud of that. I learned what I didn't do right, but I was proud because it made it to the film festival.
Absolutely. Right. Okay. All right.
And,
shout out to
that
Kenny.
came
Shout
from a really big upset. I auditioned for Kevin Hart, Heart of the City. He gave all upcoming comedians a platform to get a TV credit. I auditioned. I was representing Jersey so hard, and I didn't make it.
Oh, that's all right.
And I was like, I thought it was going to be, I said, I deserve this. I've been putting it on for Jersey. I've been holding it down. Comics should know they come to Jersey, then they're going to hear Hassan Oliver name. I didn't get picked. So I took that and said, if I can't make that, I'll make my own movie. And that's what I did.
That's what I'm talking about. Make your own and keep it going.
Yeah. So I've been acting before comedy, though. That's the truth.
So you prefer acting over comedy?
I was acting first since high school, drama class, then college. But then I said, you know what? I really love making people laugh. My passion is really in acting. Yeah, and it's just, I'm glad I did that transition first.
So what kind of roles though? Do you prefer serious roles or do you prefer comedic roles?
I prefer serious roles. All the acting classes I took was drama, repetition, and all of that. If I get a comedic role, it'd be a cameo.
Okay. Okay.
I rather the movies I've did, King of North, Living No Regrets. I'm like the tough guy, the ex drug dealer, the snobby, the badass. I'm those, and I'm believable. You know what I'm saying?
Not just a comedian, not just what was the old school movie? What was it? Jay-Z. Everything he said was funny. What is that? What movie is that?
Just Streets is Watching.
Yeah, Streets is Watching. Yeah, everything he was saying was just funny. Like he wasn't trying to be funny, but he was funny. He was the funny guy in it.
Yeah, Jay's like, oh, what up, dog? Like all of those moments.
Yeah. But you, like you said, you prefer to be the serious guy. You prefer to be like, what's a desired role for you in a film?
Being a lawyer.
Really?
Jamie destroyed being a lawyer in that movie called what he did. The suit, just to control the courtroom. That's the role I want. Not a doctor, not a cop, a doctor and a lawyer.
Method Man is a crooked lawyer on Power this season.
Method Man is smashing his role, and he's being funny. And you can still see moments of him being, I came to bring the pain. Right. He's still
right.
He's like, Tariq, what's up? You know what I'm saying?
Right. He's still Method Man. I mean, honestly, I just want him and Mary to break out in song. You know what I mean? Like every time they're in the scene together, but I know they can't. Right. Just like that. I mean, I know that they can't do that, but I'm hoping that we get a behind the scenes where they do that one day.
They need to get, because Mary been mean since Ghost 2 came on. She probably smiled once and it wasn't a smile.
Right. But
so it's like she's doing a good job. She has to be mean until it's over.
Yes, she does.
She's being like a hardcore street mom.
Yes,
and then she's so singing about relationships, so her range is good.
Yeah, but that's what you want to be a part of your range. You want to be the serious lawyer on a serious case. No laughing involved whatsoever. Take any comedy out and strictly, serious moments.
If they keep the comedy in, it has to be brief, because now you're going to say, oh, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
No. I need to carry you through that journey. Like, wow, you really, I did a movie called King of North. Yeah. And I was getting hit on the gram like, yo, I really believe you was Mark, man. You an asshole, bro. Like, people was mad.
Wow.
And then I did a movie called Sex, Money, and You Already Know. It was shot by real street dudes. Let me tell you, on set, it was real gang members. And my part was, I was a blood guy. I did a show in Chicago. Yeah. But, some gang members approached me and was like, I'm saying, this and that. And I kept saying, what did I do? They brought the movie up. And old boy was like, nah, he a comic. He's like, yo, you could act, bro. You had me thinking you was such and such. No lie.
You got a whole beef and you ain't even know it.
Yeah, we was in Chicago. I said, don't book me out here no more, bro.
A whole beef and you ain't even know it. I'm like, this is my job. I'm sorry, I'm working.
Listen, man. He's like, yo, what's popping? I said, popcorn, man. They's like, you know what, bro? Go ahead, man. Like nothing.
I have no clue what you're talking about, sir.
Wow. It's the game terms, man. It was crazy.
Wow. I actually, you know what? I feel like I saw the movie King of North. It was in the film festival, right?
It was in a film festival. We premiered it up here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's on Tubi TV, Amazon. That came out about 6 years ago. Don't you know we get so many views on the West Coast of like people around the world, until you see it, it's new.
Yeah,
That's what I was taught.
I remember seeing it in the film festival. I think I was working the film festival with Kenny, I
At
remember,
North,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember seeing it in the film festival a couple years back.
Yup.
So good job, because I do remember seeing the film. I definitely remember
Right.
seeing it. So good job. You said you wanted to be a comedian, a director, and I believe you said producer.
I just wanted to, I no, I said I wanted to make my presence felt when somebody's speaking to me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not just a comic. So
Yes,
when I did the movie, you have to give my accolades now, because I wrote, directed, and produced my documentary.
absolutely.
It's about me growing up in foster care. It's really about, okay, I see why he's funny. He's been through a lot of stuff growing up.
Yeah.
Why not get on stage and just let it all out?
Okay. All right.
And most of my jokes come from the upbringings of living with a white family. You got your hood family. That's why I made the movie.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm. And how can we see that?
that is on Kenny app called Vault Access.
Yep.
Yeah, it's on Vault Access streaming.
Okay.
You know, it's funny. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I got my email today about my proceeds.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2010 cents, but I took a picture of it and said, when I flip this again, it's gonna be good.
Listen, but it's you doing what you need to do for you.
I did it.
You did
I
it.
did it.
You did it.
It-
And like
It's on Kenny.
you said,
Yeah,
you get the
I did
accolade, you get the accolades for that because you did it.
Because I did it.
Yeah.
A lot of people will put their check up there and hide the price and be like, long as I made it, it's true.
Right. Right.
Yup, Kenny. You know what? Big shout out to Kenny too, because Kenny, when I was hosting the house music festival down,
Oops.
you know what?
Okay.
Somebody watching the show trying to call me.
To
You
let
you get donkey of the day, Khalif. Come on. We look, he texts me, I'm watching now. And you calling. No, you want to borrow some money. No, I didn't get my stimulus, bro. Yo, Kenny is a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He gave me my first selection for the film festival out of the 3. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So, as far as writing is concerned, because again, you right now you have the title of comedian, you have the title of actor, you have the title of director, you have the title of producer, you have the title of writer at this point. Which one do you want to focus on moving forward?
I would say producing and writing, because my comedy always going to be there.
Okay.
Comedians, the stage is our platform to audition and to get seen to the world that we can do it.
Yeah.
So I don't have to focus on that. That's what got me here is my comedy.
Yeah.
So now producing, like, you see a lot of shows on TV. When you producing so many shows, like, you ever heard of a spot, you have a restaurant, but they got a comedy show, and you be like, oh, they do comedy here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Most of us comedians in the urban circuit produce the show.
Yeah.
To where if the owner give me a budget, I'm going to produce the show.
Yeah.
So after a while, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to take a producer's credit, because I'm not just hosting, I'm promoting, I'm producing, and I'm getting the talent.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you segue, cheap segue. You talk about producing, you talking about talent.
Yeah.
I mean, you got some shows that you just done or some coming up. Tell us about that.
I got I just locked a good deal in. Mm-hmm. You ever heard of, I don't know what part of Jersey you're from, and North Plainfield. You familiar with North Plainfield?
Yep, I'm right here.
Oh, I was performing at Arugas, which is black owned down on 22.
Mm-hmm.
And
Shout out to Annika. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Annika, that's my dog, Hunt Cordell, they're my drink partners, man. And when COVID hit, they was the only comedy club. They was new of letting comics come in.
Wow.
So I got a chance to meet a guy around it that owned a club called the International Club Sports Bar. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've been in there lately.
Mm-mm.
It's huge. If you ever been to the Stress Factory in New Brunswick, just picture that with a little loungy with hookahs.
Okay.
They got 2 big monitors on the wall. Long story short, we just locked in the deal for 6 months to produce shows there for the next 6 months.
Nice. All right. Okay.
And that came upon sending my resume, sending what I've been doing.
Yeah.
It came about my resume being, okay, you know what you're doing. I trust you with my property.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Yep.
Nice. So, I mean, let us know where it is. How can we come see you? When? We need to get tickets. What do we need to do? We need to have our friend hold seats. Like, what are we doing?
Our first show, we'll be doing it twice a month. It's March the 11th.
Okay.
And here's the kicker. It's free admission. Boom. Free admission. It's trust and believe. I haven't been excited for nothing like this in a long time.
And that's March 11th. Okay. March 11th. And what's the venue again?
The venue is the International Sports Bar.
Okay.
It's on 403 Somerset Street in North Plainfield. It's right off of 22. It's way before you get to Costco's and all that. We're doing 2 shows, March 11th and March 25th. We're doing it twice a month. I'm bringing nothing but heavy hitters in.
Okay.
That's it. Like, Monique, we got it covered to the point where we got the city behind us, sponsoring everything. And we giving I got the notes right here. We giving a portion of the beer and liquor sales to the Humane Society.
Nice. You're gonna have to send a flyer, to the show. Send me one behind the scenes so we can make sure that, because that's the area that we're in. So make sure you're sending that to us so we can get people there to the show.
Definitely. We be doing, it's time to start giving back. We sending a portion of the beers and liquor sales to that fund, and we're going to send some money to what just happened in the Bronx. I reached out to a rep with the 17 families.
Yes.
We sending portions out of that to that too. So we kind of doing it for a cause too, and to make people laugh.
Nice. That's
what really comedy is about, though, giving back with the laughter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome. That's awesome. Listen, unfortunately, with technical difficulties and everything else, we're coming to the end of our interview, but we are definitely going to make sure we come and check you out March 11th and March 25th. Just, like I said, send the flyer. We'll make sure that we talk about it right here on the show. Get some people from the area to make sure that we are coming out to check you out. And congratulations to you with all of your credits, your movie credits, your documentary, everything that you are doing in a comedy club. I want to know just one final thought. What do you want to leave people with? What do you want people to know about Hassan Oliver?
One thing I want everybody who's watching to know about me. Sometimes I've learned if it don't happen at that moment, it's never on your time, it's on God's time. And I started understanding that, and I'm going to tell you now, it's 100% correct. And it's true. It's not on your time, it's on God's time. And never let nobody tell you can't do what you want to do. That sums it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you too.
And I'm sure we are going to be talking again soon. I mean, especially once you're in the area, we got to have you in the studio live,
Right. Yeah.
And, maybe before, after one of your shows. So just come back. Let us know. We are going to stay in touch behind the scenes. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate y'all, man. God bless everybody.
All righty then.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Out Show on BKS1 Radio tonight. That was comedian and actor extraordinaire Hassan Oliver, who actually has some shows that are going to be in the area. So as soon as he gets that information to me, you guys heard him. He said March 11th. He said March 25th. He's going to be in the area, and he's going to be doing some shows and having some heavy hitters out. So make sure you're putting that on your calendar, and I will get you guys additional details as soon as I get them. But thank you so much for coming on to the show tonight. Speaking of comedy, everybody, I have a show that I am also a part of marketing, and that is the actor Chris Redd, who is on Saturday Night Live, who is going to be at my job on February the 27th at NJ Pack in Newark. Please Hit me up if you guys need tickets. We are doing 50% offers for you guys here, right here on BKS1 Radio, and drink specials that night too. So if you choose to want to come out and see Chris Red from Saturday Night Live at NJ Pack in Newark, let me know. DM me, hit me up, hit the station, hit the show. We're going to be talking about it for the next month or so because the show is not until February the 27th. So you know what? Y'all could just skip Valentine's Day weekend and y'all could just come to the show. You know, get tickets, come out, hang out, do what it is you do. There's drink specials. There's 50% off. Why not? But in the meantime, that was my show today for the Al Show right here on BKS1 Radio. God willing, I will be here same time, same place next week, different show. Again, we are going to be back to talking about love and relationships. Why? Because it is the month of February, and that is what we do here because we are trying to help heal one conversation at a time. So, love you all for watching. Love you all for listening, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.